The forest had gone silent. Too silent, not the peaceful kind of quiet, the kind that feels like something is holding its breath. Daniel noticed it when the birds stopped, when the wind no longer moved through the trees, when even Atlas, who had been running ahead moments before, froze mid-step. Daniel tried to stand. The pain hit instantly, sharp, blinding, unforgiving. His leg buckled beneath him and he collapsed back onto the cold forest floor, breath knocked from his lungs. He tasted dirt, pine, fear. "Atlas," he whispered, forcing himself upright. That's when he heard it. A low, deliberate growl from somewhere beyond the trees. Not close enough to see, close enough to know. Leaves shifted. Something was circling. Daniel tried again to move, but his leg wouldn't obey. The pain was worse now, spreading, anchoring him in place. He is helpless. Another growl, closer this time. And that's when Atlas stepped forward, not toward the sound, not to run, but to stand directly in front of Daniel, body tense, head low, eyes locked on the darkness. Whatever was out there, it would have to go through him first. Before we continue, tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more unbelievable animal stories. Now let's continue with the story. Daniel hadn't planned on being out that long. It was supposed to be a simple afternoon hike. Clear weather, marked trail. Just him and Atlas, the only companion he'd trusted since the divorce, since the quiet house had started feeling too big. Atlas loved the woods. He ran ahead, circled back, tail high, ears alert, always checking in. And Daniel always felt safe when Atlas was near, until the ground gave way. It happened fast. One wrong step near a loose slope. Gravel shifting, boots sliding, the world tilting sideways, then the fall. He remembered the snap before he even felt the pain. By the time he stopped sliding, he was 20 feet off the trail, twisted between roots and stone. Atlas was already there, whining, nudging his shoulder. "I'm okay," Daniel had said at first. But he wasn't. When he tried to move, a white-hot pain tore through his leg. He looked down and knew immediately. Broken. Badly. He reached for his phone. No signal. Of course. The sun was already dipping lower than he realized. The trees swallowed light fast in this part of the forest. They were alone. Injured and helpless, he muttered to himself. Atlas pressed closer. Daniel tore a strip from his overshirt, bracing his leg as best he could. Sweat gathered on his forehead despite the cold. "Go," he whispered to Atlas, pointing uphill. "Go get help." Atlas didn't move. "Go." The dog stepped forward, but not up the hill. Instead, he turned toward the trees. That's when Daniel heard it. The growl, low, testing, not close enough to see, but close enough to know. Atlas stiffened. Another sound followed. Paws against leaves. Daniel's breath slowed. Not by choice, by fear. Coyotes were common here, usually shy, usually cautious, usually. But injured prey changed the rules. And Daniel couldn't stand. The growl came again, closer this time. Atlas moved without hesitation. He stepped directly in front of Daniel. Body squared, tail lowered but steady. A warning rumble vibrated from his chest. Daniel had never heard that sound before. It wasn't panic. It wasn't fear. It was a promise. The bushes ahead shifted. Two yellow eyes caught the fading light. The coyote emerged slowly, ribs faintly visible beneath patchy fur. Hungry. Calculating. It didn't charge. It circled. Atlas mirrored it, step for step. Daniel's heart pounded so loudly he thought it might scare the predator off on its own. "Atlas," he whispered. The coyote tested forward. Atlas lunged. Not attacking. Warning. Teeth bared. Bark sharp and explosive. The coyote backed up, startled, but not gone. It paced again. Time stretched. Minutes felt like hours. The forest darkened. Daniel tried again to move. Pain stole the air from his lungs. He was a liability. Atlas knew it. Every time the coyote shifted, Atlas blocked the angle. Every time it crept closer, Atlas growled deeper. Then came a second sound. From behind. Another set of paws. Daniel's stomach dropped. Coyotes rarely hunted alone. Two shapes now. Two sets of eyes. Atlas repositioned, keeping himself between both predators and Daniel. The first one darted forward suddenly. Fast. Atlas met it mid-lunge. The clash was violent. A blur of fur and snapping jaws. Daniel tried to sit up, helpless, grabbing blindly for a rock. Then Atlas pushed the coyote back, but the second one took advantage. It darted in from the side. Atlas twisted just in time, snapping toward it, forcing it back. But they were testing him, waiting for him to tire, waiting for one mistake. "Go!" Daniel shouted again, desperation cracking his voice. "Atlas, go!" But Atlas didn't look back. He didn't retreat. He didn't hesitate. The first coyote lunged again, this time catching Atlas along the shoulder. A sharp yelp cut through the trees. Daniel felt something inside him break. No! He hurled the rock blindly. It struck near the predator, startling it just enough. Atlas surged forward with a force Daniel didn't know he had. He didn't chase. He didn't pursue. He simply forced them back, over and over. Every time they tested forward, Atlas answered. Every time they circled, he shifted. Daniel realized something then. Atlas wasn't fighting to win. He was fighting to buy time. The sky dimmed to deep blue. The temperature dropped. The coyotes grew more restless. But so did Atlas. His growls became louder, bolder, and something changed. From the distance, faint at first, came a different sound. An engine. Daniel almost thought he imagined it, but Atlas heard it too. His ears flicked back, head tilted. Then the headlights cut through the trees. A ranger struck on the ridge trail above. The coyotes hesitated. Atlas barked, loud, sharp, commanding. Again and again. The predators made their decision. Not worth it. They slipped back into the darkness, gone as quietly as they came. Atlas didn't chase. He didn't celebrate. He turned immediately and came back to Daniel. Tail low, breathing hard. Blood darkened the fur along his shoulder. Daniel pulled him close, emotion finally breaking through the shock. "You stayed," he whispered. Atlas licked his face once, as if confused why that would ever be in question. The ranger found them minutes later. The broken leg was confirmed. Atlas needed stitches. The doctor later said something Daniel would never forget. If that dog hadn't stood his ground, this could have ended very differently. But Daniel already knew that. Back home weeks later, leg in a cast, Atlas resting beside him with a shaved patch on his shoulder, Daniel replayed that night again and again. He had told Atlas to leave. Twice. Maybe 3 times. Atlas had made his choice. And that choice had been him. Injured and helpless. But his dog stayed. Now here's what I keep thinking about. When Daniel told Atlas to run, to save himself, the dog refused. So I have to ask you something. If you were in that forest, if staying meant risking everything, do you think most people would have done the same? Let me know in the comments. Would you stay?